Yes.
All right, well, Senator Jim DeMint, always great to talk to you, sir. We thank you for being with us.
Good. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I want to bring in Republican Representative Tom Price now for the House's take on the stimulus, always being fair and balanced here. So what's going on over at the House? Senator DeMint, not confirming, but we're hearing we may have the Senate voting ahead of the House. What are you hearing right now, sir?
That's what we're hearing. The problem is that nobody's seen the bill except those folks who were behind closed doors making those deals that you've heard about. This is irresponsible and it's selfish. It's selfish because it's robbing from future generations, and it's irresponsible because it won't work. That's why you hear this clamor from the American people. They know this isn't going to work. They know that government spending, more government spending, is not the answer. What we need is to, as the Senator said, step back, come together and work together as Republicans and Democrats and Americans and come up with the solution which we know is out there.
Well, Congressman, I know we're supposed to talk about stimulus with you, but if I may jump ahead, because I think a lot of us is assuming that it will go through, it will become law, but the bank, the TARP, the bailout, the Geithner plan, whatever that is still facing Wall Street and investors and bank customers. My concern about that is, on one hand, is there any discussion about the fact that you don't want foreclosures? You want to keep people in your homes, but if you do that, you keep all those bad loans going on the bank's books, which you're trying to get the banks healthier. It seems like you're fighting the two. The two are opposite of each other. Which one's it going to be?
Absolutely. You've got a political economy fighting a market economy, and right now the political economy is winning. The politicians here in Washington are carrying the day, and that's not the way it ought to work. When you get members of Congress calling up the TARP folks and advocating specifically for an individual bank in their community and winning and getting money, taxpayer money, that's the wrong way. That's not the way the market system works. So you're right. That's what you're seeing is a political economy fighting a market economy. America has thrived because of a market economy. It's being overtaken now by a political economy. That's not what the American people want.
Well, Congressman, speaking of CEOs of banks, did you learn anything yesterday from having 8 CEOs talking about how they spent $160+ billion of tax money?
Well, again, I learned that the political economy isn't the way to go, and it's not only disingenuous, but is deceitful for this Democrat majority to march in front of the American people, those CEOs, and expect them to do anything than be there with their hat in their hand. This is not the way the system ought to work. You know that. The American people know that. What we need is to step back and say, look, this economy thrives when the American people are able to keep more of their hard-earned money, when we put in place appropriate incentives for businesses to expand and create those jobs, not government jobs, but real jobs on behalf of the American people, and when the government decreases the amount of spending, not increases the amount of spending.
Congressman, I asked Senator DeMint this. I'm going to ask you this. I'm not sure why we need both. If we're going to open up the credit system in the banking system, God willing, Tim Geithner will eventually release some details of that. We're spending $1.5 trillion on that end. To spend another $800 billion to create these crazy jobs, why not just let the credit system loosen itself up, get money in the market, and let capitalism create its own jobs?
Now, you're absolutely right. Again, if we felt that, in fact, it was not enough government spending that was the problem in all of this, then sure, this would be a great idea. But everybody knows that the problem is not that government hasn't spent enough. It's that the system hasn't been allowed to work. And so you're right. If we could free up that credit, and you can do that in very responsible ways, then the system begins to unsort itself and begins to untie the knot, if you will, as Jefferson used to talk about, and allow the private market economy to work.
All right. Well, Congressman, we're going to have to leave it there. Congressman Tom Price from Georgia. Great to see you. Love the accent,
Thank you so much.
way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Congressman. Nice to talk to you.
What?
All right. Treasury